clout chasing. Is it really clout if you got 25 cents in your bank account and a bunch of useless stuff in your closet that's gonna be out of style in 2 years? What's up everyone? Kumusta mga kaibigan ko? Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna give you some really easy tips on how to save money fast. I've used these tips myself ever since I started working part-time in high school. So anyways, let's get this video started. Alright, so this first tip number 1, is where it all begins. And that is to open a savings account if you don't have one yet. The savings account is where you put all your money in that you swear to never touch unless if it is an absolute emergency. So after you put some money in there, you can't touch it. You can't use it for anything. Anything at all. Unless if it is an emergency. Alright, tip number 2 is to look at yourself. No, really, look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Is your name Bill Gates? Are you a rapper in a music video? Then why are you living like it? Why are you spending entire paychecks on Gucci belts? Quit the clout chasing. Is it really clout if you got 25 cents in your bank account and a bunch of useless stuff in your closet that's gonna be out of style in 2 years? Make your lifestyle match your income. If your income is part-time minimum wage, then live your life like you're working part-time minimum wage. Alright, tip number 3 is to eat out less and learn to cook. It's a win-win. You spend less money and you learn an essential living skill. And I don't want to hear, but I don't have time to cook. Well, guess what? There's countless recipes online for quick meals, so I don't want to hear it. Now, when you do eat out, drink water instead of spending $2 on soda or other sugary drinks. That's another win-win for you. On average, non-water beverages are $2 and water's free. So, step 1 is to drink water when you eat out and then transfer the money you would have spent on a beverage to your savings account. Step 2 is to watch the savings literally stack up in your savings account. Boom! I just saved you $2 a meal and from type 2 diabetes. You're welcome. You know how you can thank me? Why, thank you for asking. You can hit that like button and that subscribe button. Go on. I'll wait. Alright, tip number 4 is to keep your receipts from fast food restaurants. Most of them have a survey on the bottom for you to fill out and get a free entree the next time you come in. Alright, tip number 5 is to save all of your coins instead of letting them sit in your pockets then get lost in the washer. I like to put all of my coins in a jar and then I just let it fill up over time, and then when the jar is filled, well, it's not really a jar, it's more of a mug. But anyways, when your jar or your mug or whatever is filled, you either take it to the grocery store and put it in those coin machines and let the store take a percentage of your hard-earned change. Or you can be stingy like me and fill up as many coin rolls as you can and take it to your bank and keep 100% of your money. Alright, tip number 6. When you're outside, when you're at the mall or wherever, and you see an item you absolutely must have, think long and hard about how long you worked to have to pay for that item. Will that item be worth the hours you've spent having customers yell at you? If you have to think about it, then you probably don't need it. And if you're really considering it, then go back home and think about it again. And then 24 hours later, if you think the car ride is worth to go back to the store and buy that item, then go ahead and get it. But if you decide, nah, I don't really need it, then reward yourself and transfer the money you would have spent on that item to your savings account. Also, if you're iffy about an item, then that means you probably shouldn't get it. You know how we all are. All of us are like this. We have the clothes in our closet that we're really comfortable in, and clothes that we're iffy about, we usually don't end up wearing it anyways. So instead of buying that item you're iffy about and having to sell it for really cheap on a closet Instagram account a few months later after having wearing it once or twice or maybe not even at all, just save yourself the hassle of trying to get scraps from somebody and don't buy it in the first place. Alright, this next tip is the big word. It's the big B word. That's to budget. Yeah, that's right. You heard that right. And budgeting isn't that hard. In essence, it is two things. You got your essential expenses and your discretionary expenses. Or put more easily, your needs and wants. Now first, you take what you typically make in a month and then take out what goes to your needs, like your rent, bills, groceries, gas, etc. And then what you have after that, that's your fun money. Now, instead of taking all your fun money and spending it, set percentages on your remaining money of how much will go to savings and how much is for you to spend on yourself. It's okay to have fun and spend your money. What's not okay is not saving your money at all and being part of the 40% of Americans that don't have the money to cover a $1,000 emergency. Tip: the higher the percentage you allocate to your savings, the better. Also, treat money you get outside of your income, like birthday money, Christmas money, even your income tax money, like regular income. Don't spend it all on some useless. Instead, allocate a percentage to your savings and a percentage that you want to keep for yourself. And again, the more you allocate to your savings, the better. Now, if you're lucky and don't have a lot of bills to pay, then immediately transfer money to your savings account the moment you get paid by setting a spend limit for the next 2 weeks. So, for example, when I was in high school, I would set a spend limit of $100 for the next 2 weeks for myself. So say if I had $50 that I got paid $300, I would immediately transfer $250 to my savings account and keep $100 in my checking account to last me for the next 2 weeks. And especially if you're in high school and you don't have bills to pay like your 20-something counterparts, this is the easiest way to save your money. And plus, it's never too late to start practicing good habits early because the habits you start out with are harder to kick later in your life. Alright, next tip. When you're at work, bring a packed lunch with you instead of eating out on break. Think about it like this. You just worked an hour to pay for the food that you're gonna eat unpaid for 30 minutes. It's not really a good return on investment there, if you ask me. So, instead of doing that every time you have a break at work, bring your packed lunch, and then while you're eating your lunch, transfer the money you would have spent on food to your savings account. Don't be like me when I first started working, summer 2017, and whenever I had break, go across the parking lot to the Panera Bread and spend nearly $10 there on the undersized portions that they got. I still regret everything I spent on Panera Bread to this day. I did the math, and if I spent $10 3 to 4 times a week, that is $30 to $40 a week. And then for a month, that is $120 to $160 spent on Panera Bread. May I remind you again, the portions are not that big. Alright, this last tip is to have a goal for your savings. A good rule of thumb to start with is 3 months of living expenses in your savings, which means that if you lost your job or something happened where you couldn't work, you had an emergency, whatever, you can live comfortably without a job, without working, as if you still had a job. For me, That comfortable amount is 6 months of living expenses without working. The safer you want to be, even better. After having X months amount of living expenses in your savings, that's when you could start venturing out and investing your money. For example, the stock market, and start having your money do the work for you. Alright, so this bonus tip I feel is the most important tip of all. Now, in addition to having a dollar amount you want in your savings account, you also want to have financial freedom. To me, having financial freedom means knowing that I have enough money to buy something, but also that I have enough self-control with my money that I won't impulse spend every chance I get. It also means knowing that I have enough money that my life won't suck if I stopped working so I could pursue other things. It also means that I have a healthy relationship with money. I don't see money as something merely to be spent. I understand that money can be saved. I understand that money can be invested and do the work for me. I understand that there are other ways to make money that does not involve me working tirelessly in a job that I hate, that makes me question my self-worth. Comment down below what being financially independent means to you. These tips allowed me to save nearly $5,000 in high school. When I started college, my first semester, I did not have a job and I was able to live comfortably and have a social life and not have to worry about, do I have enough money to do anything, really. When I started working again, my second semester of college, at a job that I loved, by the way, best job ever, I used these penny pinching tips to save the majority of my money so I could spend the summer back home without having to work a retail job again. I've started to look at other ways to make income by investing in the stock market. I was able to relax this summer and pursue YouTube, which is something that I've always wanted to do. Instead of feeling obligated to work at a minimum wage customer service job just so I can continue to fund my unhealthy spending habits. So anyways, I hope this video helped. I hope this video can help you too to become financially independent.